and Linda Willis. The Willis family is already starting to move. Dad working out of Charlotte. And the manager now down there is Tammy Zima with his her mom Carol. And Tammy's had a brother playing back here a couple years ago. And the Zima family very active in the Boosters Club. And now we'll be getting ready as the photographer takes the last of the pictures down there for the family heirlooms. So we're going to move over towards the...
We'll apologize for the sound tonight, Frank. It's blowing a gale on the top of the press box, so we have a lot of wind. We may get a little wind noise. We will have the national anthem and have this game underway very shortly.
By the way, Kim Jahan and her mom Debbie were just out there. Come out here. They know Hand's on a little bit of a down year. On the other hand, Hand has an awful lot to be shooting for.
Hand has got their record at 500 now, with a chance of finishing at 6-4 if they should win tonight and Thanksgiving Day.
You bet, you bet. And of course that makes the seniors. The seniors have played on two division championship teams, which ultimately went to the state games, as we know, and they want to do as much as they can with this season. They win this game, and they've got a good shot at being division champs again, even though the record doesn't show outstanding results outside of the division.
Hand will get the ball first, and we're about ready to begin. Branford set to kick off. Back deep to receive are Darrell Noble and Bob Duggan. And they're kicking into a stiff breeze.
Well, the wind is going to have a lot of activity today and really affect the ball, particularly in passing and any kicking situations.
Actually, the wind is blowing across the field, and it's kicked off and going to be fielded by Noble. Noble takes it at about the 20. Now he's going to the sideline. Got up the sideline, and a good return. He's up over the 35, near the 38.
Nice look by Darrell all the way. He wanted to try to head his way over to the wedge, but he wasn't going to be able to make it, so he said, hey, I'm going to use my speed, and he faked to the wedge, to the left, in other words, and then started coming up the sidelines. Now, Darrell is running for all-purpose yards to break the 1,000 mark, and that would have done it.
Ryan Milligan. And Anderson 30 in there for blocking, and is carried forward. First down. That looks like Carroll carrying the ball.
Yeah, it certainly does. And
Dan Carroll takes it right up the middle.
he did have a nice scissors block out there by Handy Dandy out there coming in, and opened him up enough for Carroll to make about six good yards, I'd say.
End of the game is Greg Walby. He was out sick and did not play last week. We do have a key injury for a hand. Ryan Connolly broke his fibula, did you say?
That's
Frank?
exactly right, and we're sorry to hear that.
He has his left leg in a cast on crutches on the sideline. Daryl Noble gets about 2.
Not a lot there right then.
So Daryl Noble, a short gain. Gained about 2 yards. He's down to the 46.
Well, those are two tough yards down there. We don't have any weights and measures for the Branford team. Maybe we can get us that later on, but they didn't provide us any in the press box.
Number 75, Chad Taylor is the center. Over the ball, and it's handed off up the middle. Dan Carroll with a hole. And Carroll gains about 6 or 7 up to the near the 40, right on the 40. Third down and 2.
Wow.
Eric Becker brings in a play. Dan Anderson out for this play.
Well, they were successful with the power eye last time, and third and about the same distance.
This time they've got Becker in the power eye in the blocking position. Now he splits out in the slot. Pitch to Noble, swinging to the right. Tackle deep.
Beautiful tackle.
That was Sullivan, Tim Sullivan, number 9, who made the tackle.
Outstanding.
That ball should not have been fielded inside the 5. It would have gone into the end zone.
Yeah, that was a little miscue. The young man wanting to see what he could do out there with the ball, but I'm sure the coaches weren't real excited about that particular situation.
He fielded it about the 4 and brought it back to the 9. So Branford with their first possession of this game. We have 8 minutes left in the first quarter. No score. Hand has had 1 possession, couple first downs. And this time handed a the quarterback keep. He's cut down by Becker, it looks like, on the corner. Short gain.
Yeah, about a 5-yard gain on that, Ken.
Hey, did he get that much? I guess he did.
Yeah, it didn't look like it. It kind of slow taking place out there, but sure enough.
We have a large crowd at the top of the press box tonight, so it's a little hard to see.
Oh my gosh, I
See
guess
the
it
players.
is.
Second and 5. The ball is at about the 13. And the quarterback hands up right up the middle, and not much there.
Boy, that had a lot of.
That was stuffed by Matt Mesa. 52 was right on that tackle. Gained a yard maybe.
That was a fairly well executed play, although it didn't gain much yardage out there. When I say that, they did draw the fakes the way they wanted to, but Matt Mesa stayed home very well, as did Mac Dolan. And that's what it takes. The guys have to keep well disciplined out there to do it.
If Hand can stop this play, they'll get
not going to take much, not going to go very far. So instead of risking body, soul, and limb, he said, let's let it die itself.
That was a good kick from the end zone for the Branford punter. And second possession will start at the 47. Ryan Miller. Gain, but it is a completed pass.
Yeah, you'll take them all like that.
Gained about 4.
We've seen them now in the last 3 games, each game throw to the tight end, which has been a rarity throughout the years with hand. But what that does is that makes the linebacker stay an awful lot more honest when you're working a tight end.
That was a pretty good pass by Milligan,
yes,
who threw the ball with a man hanging off of him.
Yeah, and he put just the right touch on it, too.
Handed off up the middle. Dan Anderson breaks it through the middle. Should have a first down.
Oh, nice job.
First down for Hand.
Yeah, we'll give him about 6 on that, I guess, huh?
Well, down to 42. 43.
Now this is where this is as far as they got in the first penetration. So now it's first down and starting from that position. Hopefully they keep it going. That wind, my eyes are watering. Something fierce, guys.
It's a very strong wind. We hope we don't get too much wind whistle in the microphones here. And they're going to mark it.
Nice job. They're going off that left side more often than, again, the last couple of games, and the hand usually goes to the right side more often than left. Now they're doing it.
Chad Taylor is the center. Vero Kishwala is the left tackle. We'll pick up the rest of the linemen as we go. Again, Noble carries and gain maybe a yard short of a first.
You had some good pulling by some of the guards out there, and nice blocking. Kingsley threw a nice block onto there. Mesa did, and gave the 4 yards that Darrell needed to get up there close for first. So it's 3rd and 1 now, Kent. Looking good out there.
I'm trying to figure out who the rest of the linemen are. Who's 58, Frank? I don't have him listed.
You don't have 58? Okay, well, after this play, we'll get it for you. Well,
I'm not sure Darrell Noble ever had that ball. It was handed off, and he went in hard to the line, but I don't believe he ever had possession of it all the way.
Was it 58 or 68 you saw out there, Ken? I don't have a 58 either. 68 is Andy Elton.
So Branford's second possession. We're down to 3 minutes left in the first quarter. No score yet.
Ooh.
Handed off up the middle and
Keeper,
breaks through the line of scrimmage, gains about 2 before he's put down by Mac Dolan and Dan Carroll.
Yeah, Christmas man out there. So Hand hasn't been able to get it in that far after the 35 and the turnover, Ken. Huh? Kind of nice to see Matt DeConcilius out there again. He's really earned himself the keep at the nose position.
He's filling in while Ryan Connolly heals. And it's an option play. Quarterback still got it going to the left, and he is planted by Tim Sullivan over there.
Nice close on that. Fill the gap, saw the option play, and his job was to trail, come in on that, and fill that particular gap. He did it well, set up, and did a perfect tackle.
3rd down and about 3 for Branford.
Quite often you see a pass in this position, but I don't know. With the way the wind is, you just don't know.
Branford's got 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. I formation. Now Dan Carroll's coming over to help on this side. That was Kishwala. nearest to it, and he's going to let it roll. It's going to roll dead about the 21 or 20.
Those balls,
19.
yeah, it really got a good roll out of it. It was really the wind kind of pushing that ball, but you know, when you get it high in the air like that, it does funny things in the wind, and you could very well make a very fatal error as far as holding on to that ball or possession.
We're inside of a minute in the first quarter. No score in this game.
Well, Branford's had the ball twice now, and they've gone 3 and out each time. Speaking well for the Hand defense.
And Hand has moved the ball a couple of times, but one punt and one turnover on a fumble. Handed off to Noble. Noble goes forward for about 3.
Well,
You're right, Frank. That's number 68, Andy Elting at left guard position. I read the number wrong.
all right.
Milligan still got it there. He's looking to throw incomplete pass, almost caught, almost intercepted.
Yeah, that went off Danny Carroll.
We begin quarter number 2 at the about the 23-yard line for Hand, and Ryan Milligan looking to throw, and now he's going to scramble to the right. Got a little yardage, run out of bounds.
Boy, I'm surprised he didn't throw it to Kingsley that time. He was wide open in the center of the field, but hey, he got some good yardage. You know, Ryan is really quick himself. He can come up with some pretty good yards when he has to motor.
But that brings up another 4th down, so Hand, deep in their own territory, will probably punt it out. Mike Hominick back to punt. Branford drops one man to receive the punt. It's a good snap and fairly low kick, although it might roll.
Yeah, that's
picked up at about the 45. Cut down by Sullivan and McLaughlin.
Yeah, he got about a 5-yard gain off of that on a return, and closed up very well by Hand. But that wasn't the normal, real solid kick. But and again, the wind is coming diagonally across the field tonight and very strong.
The championship flags are standing straight out
Yes.
to the north. We're getting a
Oh, look at that overbalance.
Offshore
3
bully.
receivers, Kent.
They've got 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. They run out of an I formation most of the time, and it's an option play. Quarterback is going to get snowed under, right? Maybe he gained a yard.
Well, I'd say
Matt
they.
Mason closes it down, and Eric Becker's right there. Nick Ricano, inside linebacker, is also there.
Yeah, that's one of those plays where it really looks like they had a miscue out there. They really looked like they wanted to pass with a quarterback option as the primary goal, and fullback wasn't ready to take a handoff.
The down 3 for Hand right in the middle of the line is Matt DeConcilius, sophomore. Vero Kishwala on the far side, 76. And Matt Mesa on this side, and the quarterback still got it. Breaks through, should have a first down.
Yeah, he
Tim
definitely has
Sullivan makes the tackle.
And that was one again that Hand almost had it stopped before it got any gain out of it. But it looked like the quarterback.
That almost looked like a busted play.
Yeah.
Branford had a man right with the quarterback there. They almost looked like they ran together.
Yeah, he was trying very hard to shove it in his stomach, but he wouldn't take it. So he said, "Whoops, I better grab this thing and go." And
That gives them a first down, however, at the 36.
And they're
We're early in the second quarter and no score yet.
their deepest penetration.
It's another option play, and this time the quarterback is going to get nowhere. Dan Anderson makes contact and finished off by Duggan and Ricano.
Dan Anderson.
Dan Anderson was pounding the turf after that. He thought he should have made the tackle for a loss of a couple.
Yeah, Handy Dandy's arms didn't wrap the way he wanted them to, and he knows it.
But he did mess up that play.
He did. He slowed it down and everything, but he wanted the pop. That's what he wanted. And he knows how to do it. You see him next time he gets that shot, he'll lift him right off the ground.
They gave him a yard gain on that run. Branford runs a lot of option plays. And
Same thing.
And a run up the middle, a big run.
Whoa.
Going all the way down to the 25. Finally tackled there by safety men for hand.
Whoa, Becker and Carroll really the ones.
Becker and Carroll, yeah, they both dropped back deep to make that tackle, but a good run up the middle.
And the heaviest part of the bring down on that really was Becker. Eric really came in and pounded him from behind.
First down for Branford at the 24 with 9 minutes left before the half.
Fairly substantially sustained drive right here by Branford.
And it's run to the left, and not much gain there. Right in on that tackle was Anderson. Anderson followed the ball carrier there and made the tackle.
Well, this is a lot of activity tonight as far as offense goes. Usually, when you come into these games, there's one key offensive runner, whether it's a fullback or tailback, to carry the ball, and they're using between the option and at least 2 runners. A lot for hand to have to think about.
Branford gained about 1.5 yards on that run. Quarterback hands off to the first man up the middle.
Well, they're opening up a pretty good hole for him, Kent.
And a pretty good gain.
Having to rely on the linebackers making those particular tackles on this part of the drive, so. Boy, we all got to hang on to these things a little tighter. So we got 3rd and 4 or 5 out there, Kent.
Yeah, 3rd and about 4 for Branford. Trying to figure out where the ball is located. It's about the 18, it looks like. Everybody else is in tight for Branford. And it's an option. Quarterback still got it. Cut up the middle and a big run. Got the first down inside the 10.
Well, that looked like Hand's defense went a little bit to sleep right then. They had them pinned back, and they just opened up and didn't cover that particular hole on their left-hand side.
First down for Branford and goal at about the 8.
This is a very serious drive right now. We have to see how Hand is able to overcome it. And I can only see about half the field down there, Ken.
So Branford converts that 4th down play. And it's the option play again, and quarterback keeps and slips as he goes to the left.
Well, I'll tell you, he faked me out because I was following the fullback on that. And the fullback was making some pretty good distance.
That's the old belly series, Frank.
Yes.
You can't tell whether he hands it off or
doing a nice job on that, don't you think?
Yeah, he is. Very deceptive.
Must be, we don't really have any information on the Branford team. There's nothing in the paper. Nothing's been provided, but they look pretty athletic out there. At least at this juncture,
This time Branford comes out in an eye with 3 men behind the quarterback.
A stack eye, look at that.
A stacked eye, that's right. That's a power running type formation, and a flag throws.
Hey.
Flag is thrown.
Hey, a 5-yard penalty for delay.
5-yard penalty. That takes them a little further away from the goal.
Well, that's a hefty mistake right there when you think about it. Because they were apparently a little bit unfamiliar with what the play was. It took them a long time to get it put together.
So this series started at the 8. Now it's back to about the 12. Second and goal at about the 12.
Yeah, Hand's got Same play is looking out there. They're going to try to take it right to the middle.
That's what it looks like,
There
and
it
it is. Run right up the middle, and the man gets down to about the 6.
Nice job. That's what they did. Actually, that's the second man coming through off that stacked eye with the ball, and fake to the first man. He goes through, plants a block on the linebackers, and the second man grabs the ball in the open. Third man goes out to try to drag the outside linebacker to the right.
Third down and goal for Branford. Now the ball is about the 6. And that same formation, a stacked eye behind the quarterback. And materialized very well.
Yeah, that's what you call dodging a bullet. Right there.
We have 4:29 left in the first half, and no score.
I don't know. How are you hearing
Daryl
me?
Noble's got the ball, and he's not going to get anything. Daryl Noble is having a tough time finding yardage tonight so far.
Yeah, he is, and we want to make sure that he gets up there, try to get at least his average. Tough conditions right now, Kent, no question about it. We've had some other tough ones this season already, far more than last year.
One thing about Daryl Noble, he can be stacked up a number of times and then break a big one.
We saw him with 66 a couple games ago.
That gets hand out of the hole. Now they can play their game a little bit more. This time Dan Anderson goes to the slot right. He usually blocks from that position.
Yeah.
And it's run to his side, and Anderson seals that off, and Daryl Noble takes it for 9 yards.
Yards, and he also got from Anderson coming in and taking the linebacker out. Nice.
And Anderson moves over to the slot there and just obliterated the linebacker on that side.
Andy Dan in action.
Run right up the middle by Carroll. Carroll breaks through. Good run.
Speaking about Dan, there's another Dan out there doing a job for about 8 yards, I guess.
And a first down. And Dan Carroll comes up limping a little bit after that low, hard tackle.
Looks like a knee to me. Now, Dan injured a little bit of hyperextension on his knee a couple of games ago back at North Haven. Looks like that may be it again. Coach didn't see it. Coach didn't see him limping. Brought Becker back off for whatever play he wanted to call.
Now we're going to have a timeout by hand because Carroll was trying to get off the field, and they wanted him back in. So we will take a break for Hand's first timeout of the first half. As we expected, Branford is playing hand tough so far. We're just a little over 2 minutes left before halftime, and there's no score in this game. Hand got 2.
I get on that about 10 yards?
Yeah. Now they're going to call it just short of a first down. They give him about 9.
Give him about 9. All right. Well,
second and about 2 feet.
Dan Anderson. Now, time's going to be very essential.
The Branford man was down with an official's timeout, and then Hand took a timeout because they got a first down at the 11. They can make a first down just short of the goal line. Darrell Noble takes it to the right side, and he's going to get a little bit, but not much.
So you only get about 4 or 5, 3 yards actually. Clock is moving on this. So
We're down about 25 seconds left before the half. So Hand in a hurry-up offense.
Rolled that out to the wide side, and it was very effectively done by Branford in defending that hole.
Branford takes a timeout to try to ice Jim Willis a little bit before he tries this field goal. Go ahead.
Okay, 8 seconds left to go in the first half of the score here at Swan Field.
We have 8 seconds left in the first half. Jim Willis is out to attempt a field goal. They're going to spot it at the 17, which will make it a 27-yard field goal, and Branford takes another timeout before they can get the half.
He really put the foot into that.
And we were talking just before that kick, Frank. Not only is it a strong wind, but he had to go into that wind a little bit.
In and across it, as a matter of fact.
He was on the left hash, and Jim Willis boomed that one through with no doubt. First score of the game.
Well, the way this half went defensive-wise for both teams, that's a very important 3 points right there for Jimmy. That was a nice snap, too, by Matt Mesa on the long snap right there.
Matt Mesa put it right back to Milligan, who put it down, and Jim Willis, who is one of the better high school kickers in the state of Connecticut. He hadn't had a lot of opportunity to kick field goals this year, but he made that one good. 4 seconds. I would assume that Hand will hit this ball low, not risk a run back.
Yeah, indeed. But then, too, with this wind, Jimmy gets it up there. He can get it all the way down in the end zone.
They're not going to get it off. They crank up the clock and run out the half. So 3-0 at the half, with Daniel Hand leading Branford with Jim Willis's 27-yard field goal and a lot of defense and not a lot of offense.
No, indeed. I mean, in Branford. I got a few here, and they're not really exciting, but not bad either. We had 18 running plays for 110 total yards, with the Nobleman taking 9 carries for 33 yards. And Milligan, the most, he had 4 carries for 47. Carroll for 4 carries for 24, and Anderson for 6 on 1 carry. And
Willis hits it long and near the sideline.
oh, that'll bounce them back 5 yards if they want a re-kick, or the 35.
Knocks it out of bounds at about the 7.
carrying those on. So anyway, that does tally up with Anderson's 6 yards. And Ryan tried three passes. He was successful on 2 of them, for Becker getting a 7-yarder and Kingsley, the younger, for 5 out there. So that was the offense on the game, and it was all successful with that ending with a three-point attempt.
So Branford with the ball first, taking it at the 35. They had the option of taking it at the 35 or a re-kick. And it's run right up the middle. And man gains 2 or 3. Pretty good deception on the handoff. We have to watch real closely to tell whether the quarterback still has it or whether he hands off up the middle.
Yeah, we've seen some pretty good play that way this year, but I've got to say, I think this quarterback is doing as good as anyone we've seen, whether it was the Sheehan quarterback or up at Derby. They were very big with the option play.
Gained about 3.5, 4 yards on that dive up the middle. High formation, handed off the first man, and he isn't going to get anything there. And cutting that down is Anderson and Dolan. Mac Dolan and Dan Anderson.
Right use of terms there, and you say cutting down, and Dolan was right there, dropped to his knees, grabbed the opposing player's knees, and Anderson came across the top and wrapped him.
So that one may have lost about a 1/2 yard. 3rd down play, 3rd and a long 6 for Branford. And option, quarterback still got it and got a big hole on the far sideline. And he's being pursued by Anderson or Carroll, who bumps him out of bounds, but not until he gets inside the 25.
Boy, that was quite a run. You know, and it's really something because it seemed like Hand should have seen that was going to be a fake dive. They actually bit on the fullback dive, and with a number of yards to go, they weren't going to pull that kind of a play. So Hand lost the contain. It might have been good blocking, but nonetheless, Hand lost the contain on the far side. Off the bottom, Kushwala.
Eric Becker makes the first contact. Vero Kishwala helps him.
Yeah, that was nice. Those 2 young men have done a very good job.
4th down, and they're about where they started.
Looks like a timeout by Branford.
Timeout by Branford on a 4th down play.
Everybody's watching this, baby.
And Branford is not going to try to tie it up with a field goal try. They're going to go for it on 4.
And took a while for Hand to see it, but then they did, and they closed on him to rush him, and he couldn't make the pass complete. So Hand takes over for the second time in the game, Kent, down about the same location.
They've had a first down at the 8 and a first down at the 7, and goal twice, and they've come away with nothing. That play, he had a receiver in the end zone, but the quarterback was being pressured. Handed off this time to Dan Carroll. Carroll still going. Up over the 15 to about the 17.
Give him a little bit of breathing room out there. Does Danny. Nice
That's
job.
very close to a first down. They're going to mark it just short of a first.
Well, it's Hand's first possession of the second half here, so that was not a bad one to start with.
Dan Carroll gains about 9 yards on the first carry.
Well, we got the tight end coming out, so going to change unless somebody else picks up that spot. And nobody does.
And the only man behind the quarterback is Darrell Noble. And Milligan
Looking for Welby out far.
There's a throw and incomplete, in and out of the hands of Welby.
It's too bad. He was there. It was close. Might have had a little bit of a slice on that ball coming over because of the wind blowing it. And Greg not quite able to catch up with it.
That brings up third and very short for Hand. They need to pick up the first down here to keep the ball. We have 8 minutes left in the third quarter. Hand is leading Branford 3-0 on Jim Willis's 27-yard field goal right at the end of the half.
Oh, man. Just saying, Anderson just
Timeout
called that
by
timeout.
Hand before the play.
Yes, I would rather take the wind than the wet. We've had a couple times.
We have a third down and short for Hand, tight formation. Now they spread it out. Milligan hands it off, and it's a first down across the 20.
Is that Anderson going through there?
That's Dan Anderson carries the ball. That's right.
And about 3 off of that. Interesting, he's the one that called the timeout a few minutes ago, and just before that particular play, and he must have been a little bit unknowing of what was going to happen. It's a good thing since he got the ball.
Daniel Hand with the ball at the 21, first down.
No matter what level you play on, you know there's no red zone.
And we won't see a lot of passing tonight because the strong wind. Milligan is bringing it out and takes it up over the 25.
I'll give him about 5, give Ryan on that one. Again, he had the option, but he's pulling that baby down and going for it when he can, and that's okay to get that positive yardage out there.
Good 5-yard gain by Ryan Milligan, the quarterback.
Looked like Dan Glenn had been open for a while on that, but then Good to see, and he loves it. He loves the contact.
Ball now is about the 29. First down for him. Dan Anderson motion to the right, and it's handed off to Noble. And Noble gets nothing.
Absolutely zero on that. Got to change your personnel down there, Kent.
A lot of people in and out on this one. We've got Dan Carroll and Darrell Noble in the backfield.
And we got Eric Becker out there. He's been successful on
Ryan Milligan looking to throw.
He's got one. On his wrist down there. And we've got cameraman right there. He almost knocked Paul over, as a matter of fact, as they came to the sidelines. Got Paul right there in the middle. Maybe from up here we can pick him up.
Hands drive stalls at the 40. Punt formation on 4th down. Oh, it's a low snap and a good fielding job by Mike Hominick. It hits and is going to roll a little bit.
Quite a rush was on
the 37. That ball came back on 2 bounces to Mike Hominick, and he fielded it cleanly. He may...
the man doing the punting, that's something.
He may give James Kingsley a run at shortstop this next ball, the way he fielded that one. So Hominick had to hurry his punt after making sure that he fielded it first. Branford with the ball back.
They like this eye, don't they?
And there's the belly series right up the middle. He did hand off on that one, about a 3-yard gain.
They work that eye very much. They want to do either a fake on the handoff or let him go with it.
We have 4.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, and Hand is leading 3-0 against Branford. And that's it. Branford has had 2 good opportunities to score, and they've come away empty both times.
And Hand's offense has been missing on a couple cylinders, actually.
And handed up the middle, and a long one. Sullivan is chasing the man, and Tim Sullivan makes the tackle, but clear down about the 26.
Hey, Timmy Sullivan showing some good speed out there to run him down.
That's not the way you want to make tackles, though, Frank, from behind.
Not from behind, particularly when they brought that right up the center. Hand has always been quite proud of the center line activity, and that time they got out bamboozled down there.
First down for Branford at about the 26. We have 3.5 minutes left, 3rd quarter. And it's handed off the first man through, and he gains about 5.
Well, they've come up with some sort of a blocking scheme down there, has Branford, because they've been running that right up the middle. Tried it again, across Nate Fisher, and that time Nate Fisher was able to take on the blocker and let his backup do a job. But boy, that's getting a little tentative down there.
Dan Anderson kept up the ball carrier, but about a 5-yard gain. And it's a belly series. Quarterback still got it. And now he's run to the... Sullivan slows him up, and he's tackled by Ricano. Eric Becker's right there.
Well, Ricano's the guy who actually got his arms wrapped around him for the longest, but
and Anderson are both in there.
I'll tell you, I think Ricano read that perfectly because he slid over to that side as that play set up, and he was right there for the quarterback coming through.
So they stop Branford on 4th down and get the ball back.
It's the 3rd time now tonight. Hand is stopped in the red zone. Now it is. It's just into the red zone. It's about the 18.
Milligan rolling right. He's got black shirts ahead of him. Throws it low, bounces it in to who is
Bobby
that over
D.
there? Bobby Duggan was the intended receiver. Brings up 3rd and long.
Well, this is a challenge right here. You know, you really know it should be a passing down, and you really probably know that Hand's not going to take it up the center, so that allows the down linemen to just kind of hold their own and kind of spread the defense.
Hand needs 8 yards on this play to keep the ball. Milligan's rolling out, looking to throw. Complete pass to Dan Carroll, but he is hit hard, short of a 1st down.
Yeah, he got about 5 yards on the pass, but that certainly wasn't enough for the first.
That will bring up 4th and 3 for Hand. Mike Hominick back in punt formation again, and he's punted about as much tonight as any game this year, hasn't he, Frank?
Just about, as a matter of fact. I think this would be his 3rd or 4th punt, and I think 3 is the most he's done in the past games. If our hands weren't cold and the wind blowing so hard, I could look it up in the stats, but I'm not going to.
And they let the clock roll and run out the 3rd quarter before the punt by Hand, with Hand continuing to lead 3-0.
Well, we've got Eric Hamill down there right now. Eric's back from Navy Prep, and he did have to be operated on again. And he said, I saw him at halftime down there, Kent, and he said that the Navy doctors knew exactly what the problem was, so they reconstructed his ankle. He had it done out here in civilian life, and apparently they hadn't done it right. But he says everything looks good. They say he should have a full recovery off that, and Eric's saying that he expects to be playing.
And that play is stacked up with about a 1-yard gain. Matt Mason on the tackle.
That was 77 for Branford down there. Just tackled Tricano. I don't know why the referees didn't see it, but I mean he tackled him and bulldog Tricano down.
Nate Fisher is also in on that tackle. He's number 59.
Yeah, the number 77 looks to be about 3 times the size of Ricano.
2nd and 9 for Branford. 2 men to the right, 1 to the left. And quarterback option. This time he pitches out on the far sideline, and he's dragged down a good tackle over there. That Bob Duggan, he fought off a block and made the tackle. was right in the right position to take Duggan clear out of that play, but he wasn't able to do it.
Nope, Duggan stayed away, fended him off. Also to be noted on that, though, was Mac Dolan coming through and actually taking the quarterback out.
3rd and 5 for Branford. And it's handed off and run to the right side. Man breaks through the line of scrimmage, had the first down across the 30.
Here again, it looked like they had him, they could have had him down for a 3rd and no gain, and another opportunity for a 4th, but it slipped away.
And again, Branford is taking it deep on hand. They haven't put it in the end zone yet, but how many times can they keep him out?
Exactly, and the thing is that the time is moving off that clock, and already we know that it's going to take a long time to get scores in this game.
First down, just inside the 30. And it's an option play. Quarterback still got it, circling to the left side. A big hole, and he's going all the way to the end zone on this one. He's tackled by Duggan, but not until he crosses the goal line. So Branford takes the lead with 10 minutes left in the game.
And there again, what that was, though, they did the fake to the center on the fullback plunge on the eye, and the quarterback keeping it, doing a nice job and rolling down here to their left side. And the hand lost the contain, and in he went.
And one of their best running backs is their quarterback, Frank.
Sure
He's
is.
quick.
Quite an athlete out there.
Branford will try a 1-point conversion to try to extend the lead. Good snap and placement, and kicked it up, and that one looks like it's off to the right.
Yeah,
no good.
It looked like he was compensating, but he compensated a little bit too much for the wind, and it didn't.
And Hand has played Branford to a tie before, haven't they?
Yes, they certainly have, and it was a very important tie because it took Hand out of an undefeated season. At that
Hand
point,
finds themselves trailing in the 4th quarter, 6-3. They need to sustain a march.
who was that masked man? Looked like Ricano!
That was Nick Ricano that finally picked that up.
What's
Nobody
he
wanted
doing?
it. It hit the ground there.
He doesn't know how to take anything as small as a football in his hand and wrestle it up the road. He knows how to take a football helmet and crank it off somebody's head, but
What Hand needs to do is to march it down the field and put it in the end zone.
they got to do just real good crack, good execution right now.
Pitch wide to Noble this time, and Noble comes back, and he's going to gain maybe a yard, and that's it.
Yeah.
Hit by a lot of white shirts.
You have a lot of yardage to make up when you're pitching that deep, particularly with a good pursuing defense like this.
2nd and 9 for him. This time it's handed off to Noble to the left side, and he's going to be hit right at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, it's 3rd and long right now, Kent.
3rd and long, and Hand has not been able to keep a drive going very much in the second half here. Milligan still got it, rolling, looking to throw. Now he's going to throw it up in the air.
Out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Well out of bounds. there that came in untouched from the left side to even have a chance to get that kickoff. That was going to be blocked right in his face.
That was real heady of him, too, to dodge that like that. Let the guy get by him, and he had a free chance to kick it then. But we could see that before the play took place. That man was going to be coming in unopposed.
And he was not picked up by a blocker by hand, but Mike Hominick puts it clear down to the 28. Frank, there have not been a whole lot of penalties in this game, have there?
Not a lot at all. Interesting to see.
And quarterback still got it,
again.
Swinging to the right, and he gets a little yardage.
Almost taken down by Riccardo. What's in somebody's belly?
Somebody's belly, and then he brings it back out sometimes.
This is interesting. Two wides to the right out there. I can't imagine them lofting the ball.
And run to the left, and Eric Becker has his man wrapped up.
Nice job coming in, fending off the blocker, and you don't expect to see Branford do anything really fancy out here because they do have the lead, although it's a slim one. They don't want to make a turnover, either by fumbling the ball, by handling it too much, or by passing it for first down.
3rd and 5 coming up.
Well, this is a case where they may do that.
We've got two receivers to the right, and Beck has knifed him by a knife.
The knife!
Mac Dolan shot the gap and took the quarterback down immediately.
Oh, what a nice job. Love seeing that. 4th and 10 to go.
You don't see the hand linebackers blitz much, but that was a good place for it.
Oh, absolutely. A roll out to the wide side for natural.
Darrell Noble and Bob Duggan are back to receive this punt. And it's very close to being blocked. It's going to hit and roll down to about the 34.
Well, Hand's got to bring it up now. There's no question about it.
So we're inside of 6 minutes left in this game, and Hand trails by 3 points.
Hand's got to try to do something a little bit more wide open in their offense now because obviously the standard play has not been able to work. They've been keyed on Darrell Noble very much. And they've been seeing the rollout of Milligan, so got to get it into somebody else's hands right now.
Ryan Milligan, a quarterback, and Milligan still got it, going to the left, and he's going to be dragged down a very short gain. I'm not sure he got anything.
I don't think so. Short, nobody long.
Branford has played tough defense against Hand tonight and has not given them anything long. They have not completed any long passes, not had any long runs, really. Run up the middle this time by Dan Carroll for about 2 yards.
There's Anderson on that. Yeah, that was Danny Anderson on that one.
That was Anderson, not Carroll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very hard to see that. The 3-0 also looks a lot like the 3-8.
Anderson's out and Carroll is in.
And 3rd and long again. So Hand has been finding ourselves this whole second half in the 3rd and long position.
Ball at the 35.
cream.
Was not able to recover. Branford recovers, but it was going to be Branford's ball, whoever got it down there.
It sure was.
And that ball was snapped well over Hominick's head. He had no chance.
Well, that was devastating to Hand in an earlier game when, actually the Shelton game would be, remember when they got a missed snap into the end zone, the other team
Once
fell on
again, Branford first and goal at about the 9. And it's handed off to a man going to the 5 and put down hard by Anderson.
He did. He got him well on that. But, again, they made positive yardage towards the goal line. Second and 5 yards.
Second and goal at the 5, and the clock is rolling.
And momentum in their favor, really, too.
If Branford scores here, it's going to be very tough for Hand. They need 2 scores then.
Yeah, Hand's got to try to keep them out of that end zone 100%.
Second down play.
Quarterback, nope.
And hand it off, and Branford scores. And right up the middle. Very good deception on the part of the quarterback, who looked like he still had it, but the fullback carried it in.
That fullback's a big boy, too. He's got a lot of... And he's able to kind of weave his way through there.
That takes the score to 12-3 with Branford leading Hand. And 2:57 left on the clock. Branford comes out in a formation to go for 2. Quarterback rolling right, looking to throw, incomplete in the end zone. He had his man there, but was not caught. Score stays at 12-3, but the most important to Hand is that there's less than 3 minutes left in this game.
And Hand needs to get 2 scores, as you were saying just before that touchdown, Kent. So that what you're going to see is Hand having to get very aggressive out there on offense now.
They need a turnover.
Yeah, they need to be able to get the ball down, get 1 touchdown, then a quick turnover. They got to make them quickly. Hey, that's a long step if you go.
And with a first down. But they need 2 scores, and they're going to put it in the air. Milligan looking to throw.
Intercepted.
It's intercepted by Branford. Aiming for Kingsley, but the defensive man was right in front of him. Intercepted by Branford at about the 49.
Well, that's a shame because I think Ryan was going to go to him all the time, so he probably telegraphed it a little bit. Awful close coverage out there, so that there really wasn't a spot to go with it.
So with 2.5 minutes left in the game, Branford can sit on it and let the clock run. They're going to run off to the right side and gain about a yard. That's it. Tackled by Ricano. Mesa.
Yeah, from Branford's standpoint, though, that's fine. They get a little pottage. They would like to try to get 1 more first down out of this, but either way, they're going to chew up one whale of a lot of time.
And there isn't a lot of time left. We're inside of 2 minutes. Expect Branford to run that ball right up the middle most of the rest of this game, and the wind rolls over the right side of the line, gains a yard maybe. Doesn't gain anything where the referee spotted it.
Yeah.
Hand takes a timeout.
Yeah, that should be Hand's last time out.
Well, they got one more according to the scoreboard.
Yeah, but I think that was...
Hand stops the clock with 1:39 left in the game, but they're trailing by 12-3 score.
And not able to get their offense this half, really doing anything. I know, it's very surprising because Hand did look like they had a pretty good movement in the first half of this game, but just Branford had it very well defense, no question about it for Hand. And it has been a very low penalty and turnover game, but unfortunately right now we've seen a couple of miscues and a Hand in the backside of the good.
Third and 9 for Branford. But they're not too worried about that as long as they can keep the clock going now.
Yeah, they'll keep it going and they'll be able to get a, even if they don't get a, they're taking a timeout.
And Branford takes a timeout because they don't have all their people in the right place.
Okay, ready to go.
Ready to go. Branford was ready to run their play, but they didn't have all their men set.
Clock run down as far as they can, take a penalty, and then kick it off.
Hand is taking their last timeout to stop the clock. Nick Ricano called a timeout before the 4th down play by Branford, but there's only 1:23 left on the clock. Branford does not come out in a punt formation, Frank. Hands two deep men quickly get back up closer to the line of scrimmage, and that play is going to be smothered. Hand will get the ball back, but not much time left for them.
No, the clock, of course, stops while you have the turnover here of sides. But Hand's going to have to work hard and fast and long and everything else to try to get themselves up there. The ball's back in play now as soon as they...
And the clock is running.
What you need to do out there. You need to try to get somebody flying down in the pattern, maybe do a deep cross pattern, but...
It's a 4th down play for Hand, 4th and short, but we've only got 20 seconds though. And we have a penalty here apparently. What are they marking off here?
Probably a holding, I would say. So it's going to be, well, that means that you get the big.
Illegal block against Hand.
Yeah, so it's 3rd down and 20 yards.
I don't know why Branford necessarily took that penalty. Well, it was a big one. It was an illegal block, so that puts Hand back 3rd down again, but a 3rd and very long. And Milligan throws it, complete pass to Dan Carroll. Carroll is far sideline, but picks up a good chunk of it, but he's still going to need about 5 yards.
He needed to get out of bounds, but
The clock is running. We're down to 5 seconds, so that was going to be the last play of the game.
Well,
in the 9th game of the season, Branford wins over Hand 12-3. Frank, still got a chance to finish at 500.
that's right. That'll be the goal.